You know that deep down kind of tired that sleep just doesn't seem to touch? That feeling of just running on empty, where life gets so loud you can barely hear yourself think? If any of that sounds familiar, then you are in exactly the right place. We're going to walk through the Glowrise Reset Guide, which is really just a gentle invitation to slow down and come back home to yourself.
Let's just start with this because honestly, it's the most important thing you're going to hear. You don't need to be fixed. You need to be returned to yourself. This is not about adding more to your to-do list or trying to become some better version of you. The whole idea here is that you're not broken. This whole journey is about peeling back all the layers the world has piled on so you can remember the person who's been there all along.
So yeah, you can take a deep breath. This isn't another one of those high-pressure 17-step morning routines that makes you feel like you've already failed by 8 a.m. Nope. Think of this as a soft place to land. It's a guide that's designed to help you gently let go of what isn't serving you, and then, lovingly rebuild what actually does.
All right, let's dive into the first section, the art of the reset. I love how the guide frames this whole thing. Needing a reset isn't a failure. It's not a sign you can't cope. It's actually a courageous move. It's that moment you decide to stop just surviving and really start living again. So what does a reset even mean in this context? Well, this slide nails it. It is not about grinding harder or finding a new way to hustle. It's the exact opposite. And I absolutely love this phrase here, moving from panic dressed up in a planner, we've all been there, to real intentional direction. It's about nourishing your roots so you actually have the energy to grow.
And getting started is so beautifully simple. You don't need any complicated apps or fancy equipment. You can literally start right now with these 3 rituals. First up, the clean slate, which is all about letting go of what you're carrying. Then you've got the silence practice, just 10 minutes to create space to hear yourself again. And finally, the gratitude reframe, which starts to change that inner voice, one small, kind thought at a time. Okay, so once we've established those first few rituals, the next step is to make some room, right? Before we can add new, good stuff, we kind of have to clear out all the mental clutter that's been weighing us down.
And the guide breaks down this invisible weight into 3 really clear layers. And when you see them like this, it just makes so much sense. First, you've got unprocessed emotions, those feelings that just kind of hang around in the background. Then, there are the unfinished decisions, every choice you put off that's just taking up mental real estate. And oh, the big one, that constant buzzing comparison noise from scrolling and measuring your life against everybody else's.
So what's the tool for this? It's something called the brain dump. And it is so simple, but wow, is it powerful. You just grab a piece of paper and get everything out of your head. No filter. Tasks, worries, dreams, that thing you forgot to buy at the store, all of it. Just getting it out of your head is the first step to sorting through it, and it can lower your anxiety like you wouldn't believe.
This slide, this one really captures the huge shift in perspective we're talking about. So many of us are stuck on that treadmill on the left, that rushing mode, just reacting to everything, being busy just for the sake of being busy. The goal is to move into that flowing state on the right, where what you do is actually aligned with what matters to you. It's about protecting your energy, not just managing your minutes.
And this is a question to really sit with. I mean it, just take a second. Where are you saying yes when your entire body, your gut, is screaming no? Just recognizing where you're doing that is a massive step toward getting your time and your peace back. Okay, so we've cleared out some space. Now, what do we build in its place? This whole section is about creating a new foundation, but with small, sustainable habits that actually feel good, not like just another chore on your list.
Okay, I absolutely love this concept, the minimum viable ritual. It just takes all the pressure off. Your goal isn't some perfect 1-hour-long routine. It's the 5-minute version you can do even when you are exhausted and have zero motivation. And here's the real secret, right here on the slide. Never miss twice. Missing once, that's just life. But missing twice is what starts a new, negative pattern. So the only real goal is to just show up, even if it's just for a minute.
And here is a brilliant way to actually put this into practice. It's called habit stacking. You just link a new, gentle habit to something you already do automatically. So after you wake up, you take 3 deep breaths. After you brush your teeth, you say 1 affirmation. It makes building new habits feel almost effortless because the trigger is already baked into your day.
This quote right here is a central theme of the entire reset. We live in a world that praises hustle and force, right? But this guide suggests that real strength actually lies in reclaiming these softer energies, things like intuition, nurturing yourself, and just being in the flow. It's about learning that being gentle with yourself is what actually makes you unshakable.
So, we've done the reset, we've cleared the space, and we've started to gently rebuild. Now for the final amazing piece. How do we use this new foundation to build a life that feels consciously and intentionally ours? It starts right here, knowing your core values. And I'm talking about things like peace, or creativity, or freedom, or connection. When you're crystal clear on what truly matters to you, it becomes your internal compass. It makes saying no to things that aren't aligned so much easier because you know you're saying yes to yourself.
The guide then pulls all of this together into a really simple 30-day framework. And it's not rigid, it's just a gentle structure. Week 1 is all about releasing what's heavy. Week 2 focuses on restoring your energy. Week 3 is about rebuilding those new habits. And finally, Week 4 is all about rising into this new, intentional life.
And throughout that entire month, these are your 3 anchors, your daily non-negotiables. But notice how simple they are. Just a few minutes of quiet in the morning, some form of movement, any kind, and a super brief reflection at night. It's all about consistency, not intensity.
So how do you even know this is all working? Well, the changes are often really quiet and internal. There are things like what you see on this slide. It's not about some huge external achievement. It's about being able to say no without a 5-paragraph essay explaining why. It's when silence starts to feel like coming home instead of a source of anxiety. It's when you can genuinely feel happy for someone else without that little pang of comparison.
And we're going to end on this final, powerful thought from the guide. This whole process, it's not about becoming someone new. It's a return journey. It's about remembering who you are underneath all the noise and all the expectations. You're not lost. You are just finding your way back. So what's one small step you can take today to begin that journey?